Hello everyone, it's Rider here and welcome to another video, and we're going to have a review of this fellow, Studio Series 86 Slag, Slug, whatever you want to call him, the second Dinobot that we're getting in the Studio Series 86 line. And to be honest, probably the most important Dinobot that we're getting. And the reason for that is our Grimlock here could have just been a one-off. But the addition of Slag or Slug here basically means at some point we are going to get all the Dinobots. Well, at least 4 of the Dinobots. Yes, all 5 were in the movie, but Snarl was only in it for one scene. Sludge has been leaked in the Legacy line, or it might be Studio Series 86 line, I don't know. But he's been leaked for next year. And hopefully we will get a Swoop as well, which might be a Voyager and not a leader figure. But before we have a look at this chap, let's have a look at his box. Lovely Studio Series 86 box here. Artwork of Slag, Slug and Daniel, whatever it is, on the slide. And on the back you can see Slug in both of his modes with this Daniel figure. He does come with the stand, and it is from the Quintesson pit, very similar to Nor's, just a little bit larger, and you can take your figure and you can pop your figure on top of it. Maybe not in this mode, but there you go, you get the idea, the cool things, and I do like to keep them. Now it does come with Daniel here, and it's been a little bit washed out by the light here because I'm filming this in the evening. But Daniel here is basically a retool of Wheelie. I would have really liked if they had done something with his knees. I would have preferred these to be static stand up, or even put some articulation in. The arm and the upper body is fine. Would have been nice to have a head as well. It's just painted white quite randomly, not even like the bluey kind of colour that sometimes we say. But nevertheless, it's an accessory and it's a pretty cool one to have. You can have Daniel kind of kneeling down or whatever like that if you really want to. And as I say, very much the same mould as Wheelie here. Now, as for Slag himself, he's a lovely figure. He's a great little Dinobot. His second accessory actually is his gun, which stores in his tail. Stores a lot better than old Grimlock's here, which just sits on his back. So I think there's a point there that this figure is actually, well, the weapon is better integrated, put it like that. You do get articulation on the legs and some movement forwards. That's due to robot mode, not a lot back. You get some movement on these legs as well. Nothing out. So you get some out at the front, but that's it. You also get his jaw that opens, and it's good how they've covered up the face there, which is pretty good. Lovely detail on it. Beautiful detail. I really like this figure. It's stunning. And next to Grimlock, you can see how they scale together. They look really good, and I can't wait for the rest of the Dinobots. I really can't wait for the rest of the Dinobots. But it's nice that we are getting them one at a time, so we can enjoy them one at a time. And actually, controversial, Slug here is probably my least favourite Dinobot. Now, a bit like Grimlock, he's got some little spokes here that allows you to attach Daniel to on his back, like so. So you can have that, recreate that scene that never happened with Daniel on Slug's back if you really want to. And yes, if you want to know, you can take obviously Wheelie and place Wheelie on top of there. If you so wish, you can do that. That works. And likewise, I suppose you can take Daniel here and attach Daniel to Grimlock. Yeah, that works as well. Sorry the light's washing this out a little bit, I do apologise. So yeah, it's a lovely figure. It looks great in dinosaur mode. I think critiques in this mode are the horns. So you can see they've done a bit of waffling here. Those should be solid pieces. There's no excuses for that for the £50 price point. The legs feel a little bit hollow here. Well, they are hollow, but that's probably down to transformation. But the plastic seems pretty thin. And apart from that, I think they're the only critiques. There is a few paint chippings on mine on the underside there. There's a little bit of paint chipping. But all in all, it's a beautiful figure. Great representation of Slug. It's probably the best version of this character we've ever had. And here is Slug all transformed up in his stunning robot mode. You get a lovely red face sculpt there. Absolutely stunning stunning face sculpt to match the animation and not the toy, because of course the toy was black. I've seen some people paint these. There's bound to be a chrome version come out at some point. When all these are done, there's going to be a box set with some tweaks for toy accuracy. It's going to happen, isn't it? Gun here is a really decent sculpt. I really, really like it. Matches, again, what it looked like kind of in the cartoon. Mine has got a little bit of a loose hip. Not all the way up, but just on little sections. You can see it rocks a little bit, but then it gets really tight there. Don't know why. I always end up with a little bit of QC issues on these bloody things, don't I? But it's a lovely, lovely figure. Articulation-wise, the head can move, but obviously it's in the skull of the Triceratops, so it's difficult to move it. But you can get a little bit down as well as a bit of up, which is good. Arms can go out that far. Rotate a full 360. Can bend at the elbow into there. And you get some wrist articulation as well. You get a swivel at the waist. Legs can go out that far. And forward and back that far, and you do get a bend at the knee there, and of course the all-important ankle rocker. I think it's a lovely, lovely figure. You can, if you want to, you can take Daniel here and peg him into a hole on his shoulder, very, very similar to what we got with Grimlock. And speaking of Grimlock, let's take him here. Let's plug Wheelie onto his shoulder, and let's see how these two look together side by side. So yeah, scale really well. I still think Grimlock is the better figure in my opinion. Just playing about with these now for the first time together, I actually think that Grimlock is the better figure by some distance. This is good. This is really, really good. But this just is beautiful. Maybe it's because it was the first one and I was a bit shocked about the size and everything. I got no QC issues on him. The hip on him does annoy me a little bit, and it is a shame, but these are going to look stunning together. The biggest question is, how do I display them? Because at the moment, I think I'm going to keep them in robot mode with their accessories on their shoulders. But I don't know when I've got them all. They're going to have to stay in dinosaur mode, isn't they? I'm going to have to find a space for them. So who do we think? Now, there's a question. Who do we think are going to be the little buddies for the other Dinobots? Do we think that... I personally think there's going to be a Executioner, that we got in the Pit of Judgment, you know, the smaller figure. I think we'll get one of those with one of the Dinobots. It wouldn't surprise me as well if maybe as one set of accessories, one of the Dinobots get a set of swords. There's a load of fans talking about the fact that these guys don't come with swords. It wouldn't surprise me if the last leader or whoever comes with 5 swords for each of the Dinobots. It wouldn't surprise me either. As I say, mine's got a little bit of QC with a paint chip there as well. But all in all, these are stunning, stunning figures, and it is a high, high recommend from me. Studio Series 86, a gift that keeps on giving. I have pre-ordered Wave 3. Wave 3, of course, I'll put a bit of light back on me now. I have pre-ordered Wave 3, which I believe is going to include the sweeps, a sweep, Preceptor, and Starscream in his coronation get-up. It's a shame we didn't get a Dinobot earlier, but they've got to get use out of that Earthrise mould, aren't they, sooner rather than later, so I understand why they've done that. But it would have been nice to get another Dinobot this year. That isn't sadly going to happen. But you know what, 2021 has probably given us the best 2 representations of Dinobots we've ever had from the main line. And how far have these come from Power of the Primes a couple of years ago? Absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, high recommend from me. All in on the Studio Series 86, absolutely all in on the Dinobots, and I can't wait to pick up another one. So until next time, I hope you've enjoyed this little review, show and tell, whatever you call it. I know there's better reviewers out there that's got into more detail than me, but Slag here is a great little addition to the collection. Till next time, I've been Zort Rider, and I'll catch you again really, really soon.